Hi guys, Vatsal Shah again. I am your host for a business track today. And now we have somebody from the marketing world. We have Aparna Gray. She is head of marketing APEC at Dot Digital, which we personally love and tightly coupled with Magento Commerce Cloud. And then we have been using it for marketing automation. She has 19 years of experience in marketing, public relations, and communication field. And she has worked with in Australia, UK, China, and Silicon Valley as well. And right now, she is empowering e-commerce domain in ANZ and EPIC. She will talk about 10 email programs, which is going to help you increase more revenue for your Magento stores. So please look at these steps and then make sure that all the stores you make have this benefit and pass it to your merchants. Aparna, over to you.
Wow, thank you, Vatsal. That's a fantastic introduction. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining, and thanks to the team at Magento to really getting Digital involved in this Meet Magento India 2021. So firstly, just a bit about myself. My name is Aparna Gray, and as the previous slide noted and Vatsal mentioned, I'm the head of marketing for the APAC region for Digital. A bit about Digital in a second, but I thought I would share a bit about myself first. I've been at Digital for nearly 5 years, and I'm originally from India. I was born in New Delhi, lived in Mumbai, or as we used to call it, Bombay, before I navigated around the world, stopping by a number of countries and landed in the beautiful city of Melbourne. And for the cricket fans out there, you will see that second image is the MCG with the beautiful Melbourne skyline in the background. So why the MCG? Because I am a huge fan of cricket and Indian cricket team. So thought I would share my enthusiasm with you all. Finally, I love e-commerce. I've been working with the e-commerce industry here in APAC for the last 10 years, and it's really been amazing to see such a radical change across the region and in India as well. I would have never have predicted that my parents who live in Mumbai and they're in their mid-70s would become such avid Amazon shopping fans, because of how COVID has really restricted their movement. So I'm so excited to be here presenting to you all, but I'm also gutted that I can't be there in person because, it doesn't matter where I live, India will always be my home, and this opportunity is great. It's a great way for me to connect back. So a quick rundown on the agenda. We'll take you through a bit about Digital, then to the presentation on hand with the top 10 email automations, a bit of a summary, next steps, and stick around for a special offer, which I will talk about right at the end. So just to quickly, for those who haven't come across Digital before, here are a few bits of information. Sorry, it's a bit of a busy slide, but lots to kind of fit in here. But definitely check us out at digital.com. So we're a global company, and our APAC offices are in Melbourne, Sydney, and Singapore. We also currently have a couple of people in New Zealand as well, which is great. We are led by our CEO, Milind Patel, who is based at our London headquarters. We have people supporting our clients in Melbourne, Sydney, and Auckland, as well as Singapore. And we used to be called .mailer. So some of you might remember us .mailer, and we branded in 2019 to .digital. But most importantly, for this community, we are Magento's first and only premier partner for marketing automation. We're bundled with the current version of Magento, open source, and the Digital connector is compatible with Magento versions 1.6.1 upwards. So it's safe to say Magento and Digital have a long history, which goes back many, many years. So what do? I guess what we aim to do with our clients is that we take, a contact, or any of our merchants' contacts through the customer journey to kind of become brand advocates. We do this through a variety of personalized channels using relevant touch points and to deliver the right message to the right person at the right time and on the right channel. So we do this from the early days of email, when you're kind of starting out and kind of building out your campaigns for email automations, all the way to social retargeting, SMS, promotions, native product recommendations, and things like live chat and push notifications as well. So all of this to give the customer a better experience. Speaking of customers, here's a quick snapshot of our customers across APAC. We have 4,000 customers around the world, and we serve companies of all sizes and in all verticals, and we've done this for 20 plus years. And here are some of our fantastic Magento brands that we work with across the world, some really good brand names out here that we're really proud of. So as I mentioned, our platform is called Engagement Cloud, and we always ensure that the customer is at the center of everything we do to really help them connect, communicate, and empower them with the right tools for all channels. And you'll see these channels kind of listed below here. Everything from email to mobile SMS and to live chat. So today, in the interest of time, we'll be focusing on email. And because customers are at the center of what we do, all the examples you will see in this presentation are from our customers in the APAC region. So on to the presentation for the day. The first program is the welcome program. A good welcome program really will focus on building the relationship and not just selling to the prospect. This program is also a great opportunity to collect that valuable data on your prospects. They enable us to really begin sending a series of really personalized emails via marketing automation. So be sure to reassure the prospect by communicating the benefits they'll get from having joined your mailing list. Show the credibility of your brand by displaying online reviews, testimonials, and links to maybe some of your social media communities. Maybe highlight any forthcoming offers available to the prospects, such as welcome coupons. Make them feel closer to the brand, but by sharing that inside knowledge, some tips and tricks, product line previews, and some exclusive event entries as well, if that's what you kind of do for your brand. And if you ask for additional data from the prospect, make sure it is really clear how you will use it and what they will get in return. So this is a great example from our client Skin Inc. The email really welcomed us to kind of their family and gave us the benefits of being a member and offered a free discount code, as a welcome gift. So it is also very obvious on how this offer can be used. So it's very clear and super welcoming. So the next one, so according to Baymert Institute, nearly 70% of shopping carts are abandoned. That's why a successful abandoned cart program really focuses on addressing quite a few factors that may influence your customer's decision to actually leave. So make sure you give the delivery options and explain the suitability and the value of money of each, and reinforce the trust in the brand by kind of providing those links to reviews, those really important testimonials, and the social media platforms as well. Let your visitor know their cart is saved. So if they choose to check out, it'll be quick and easy and efficient. Introduce the fear of missing out, a FOMO, but kind of play out upon maybe like a limited time offer, a limited message, or a product stock alert. Maybe suggest related products along the contents of their saved cart. And as a last throw of the dice, try offering some additional discounts and maybe even a free delivery as well. So how would you set up an abandoned cart program? So we recommend sending the first reminder message within the first hour and then testing and adapting based on results. So remember to experiment with like different timings based upon the day of the week as well. Why not? Give it a go, test it out, see how it works. You can either have a 2 or 3 stage abandoned cart program, in this way, you can re-engage your prospects. So a typical program might be built like this. So triggered email sent 1 hour after the cart is abandoned. Ask your customer if they need any help. Remind them of the contents of the cart, that they're still there. And provide a very clear call to action so they can revisit the cart and complete the sale really, really quickly. The second one is a triggered email sent 1 day after the first email. Remind them the contents of their cart are really still saved and they're still there, and kind of remind them of the benefits of shopping with you. And then the final one is the trigger email sent 1 week after the second email, offering your customer a discount voucher maybe, or a unique discount code, or maybe free shipping, to use this if really they can use this so they can entice them to complete that saved cart purchase. So this is a great example from a Malaysian customer, Trapo. It's on brand and really focusing kind of wholly on the product and the call to action. They're really trying to instill FOMO, the fear of missing out, by saying that particular brand of product is in high demand, so buy soon, otherwise the customer might miss out. Uh, On to abandoned browse. So by using web tracking, retailers can really automate an email to kind of follow up on potential customers who leave their site before completing a purchase or signing up for more information or even abandoning a cart. So if you already have their email address or their email ID, you can maybe address some of their reasons for leaving and kind of encourage them to return with an abandoned browse email. So although a visitor was not as close to like completing the purchase as maybe an abandoned cart, you can still get a healthy ROI from this vendor by sending that email within the first hour they've browsed, and while it's still fresh in their mind. Maybe help them choose the right product or service, provide them product recommendations maybe based on the data you already have of them. Educate them about your brand. Ensure your email design is kind of consistent with your website and your brand, and includes a lot of educational content. Maybe give them customer service information, such as like privacy or security information, and links to reviews if they can, you can kind of prod them along. Let them know about some additional benefits, such as offers, free shipping or returns, and but make sure it's a very clear call to action to come return, add an item to the cart, and complete that purchase on your website. So I love this example from our Aussie wine client, winedirect.com.au, and not because it's about wine, but this is spot on. A few whites that may also wet your whistle. Obviously the customer was looking at a number of white wines when they kind of visited the website. The imagery is great. It stands out. It's got wonderful personalization, and it's a nice little touch at the bottom with the chief digital officer's email ID and signature being included. Onto post-purchase programs, that can really engage with customers after they've completed their first, second, or even, the 20th purchase with your particular brand. I do love this little infographic that, really clearly depicts the pre and post customer journey, all the way from engagement, evaluation, purchase, and on to advocacy. So post-purchase programs should really aim to kind of build that trust and make the customer feel great about the product they've just bought. And this helps, kind of reduce that post-purchase uncertainty. Have I done the right thing? Have I not done the right thing? Have I bought the right purchase? And this will minimize those returns. Um, a good post-purchase experience will also kind of further enhance the brand while also developing, loyalty and advocacy, which is super, super important. And it also helps take advantage of repeat purchases as well. If they had a really good post-purchase experience, they will come back and repeat it again. And it enables us to collect additional data, to kind of personalize your website and also emails, and brand up your emails for that particular customer in the future. Also asking kind of new customers for feedback on their shopping experience that they've had, or it's a really good way to kind of gain that insight on the usability of your website, on the product search, maybe on the checkout experience, or about the product itself. Make sure this email is really well timed, because within probably a couple of days of delivery, make sure that's actually there before you've actually sent the review email, so the experience is really fresh in their mind. Include an image of the purchase to kind of remind them, what product they're reviewing. Include, again, the customer's service details, connect to ensure the customer can resolve any issues before they post potentially a negative review. Incentivize their response. Make reviewing feel like less like a chore. So Seller One here has offered $100 to the top 3 most insightful comments. $100 is a lot of money for me. I would definitely go in and kind of put my comment in there. And also remember to thank them. That's just common sense. And as I always tell my sons, it's good manners to thank people. So another client here, Carrie Kay, has given us an excellent post-purchase experience where they're thanking us for the purchase, good manners, and asking us for a review, but also giving us that kind of feel-good factor where they're donating to a charity for every tagged photo. A wonderful example of like post-purchase really done well. Transactional emails, so like order confirmation, are probably the most highly read message because they've been initiated by a customer action. They're necessary, but sometimes these automated emails can become a bit drab. But if you're using an email service provider to kind of deliver these transactional emails, you've got the ability to spice up functional transactional emails and kind of better promote your brand and give them some really fantastic content. Again, make sure you thank your customer, confirm the payment and product details. Here's a chance to showcase related products, provide customer service contact information again, general FAQs, maybe product specific information as product care information. You can introduce those social handles again and also provide them with a newsletter sign up to kind of ensure they hear the latest and greatest from you after they've made their first purchase or second or third purchase. Shipping is such a crucial part of customer satisfaction. So, be very specific as possible about delivery, providing them tracking links, wherever it's possible. Cash on demand, is a big thing in many parts of the world. And as I hear from my parents in India, it's also really big in India. So make sure you have the specific details kind of in there. Add in the time and date of delivery if possible, and send them via SMS. I saw a recent fact that there were nearly 421 million mobile phone internet users in India in 2019. That's probably risen by the time we are now in 2021. So, those automated transactional SMSs are a really sure way to get your message across as well. And speaking of transactional SMS, Dot Digital announced today, in fact, that announced today that we are offering transactional SMS for Magento, whereby Engagement Cloud now supports a number of messages for Magento clients. These include, new order confirmations, order updates, new shipments, shipment updates, and new credit memos. So more on that in our next session with Matt McClelland in the general track right after this session is done. So this example from Jolique is a really good one because it really showcases exactly what the customer has bought with an image of the product. And it also provides a tracking number and gives delivery options, which is a really great way to keep a customer in control of their delivery. A really good example. So there's always a debate about whether this glass is half full or half empty. When I look at this glass personally, I see an opportunity to find out more and give the person drinking the water the opportunity to fill it up again. So it's the same thing with product replenishment. If you sell a consumable product, why not remind customers to kind of restock when their supplies are dwindling or when their supplies might be dwindling? So, marketing automation is really an effective way of kind of driving and increasing those repeat sales and recurring revenue, especially when a retailer is selling a product with a repeat purchase or a replenishment life cycle. So an effective product replenishment program may be structured like this, so identify the product, its life cycle, and trigger point for restocking. Segment customers based on their purchasing habits, those who restock earlier or more frequently, and tailor programs around each group. Test incentives and calls to action to ensure you're driving maximum conversions. The effectiveness of discounts may really vary from different customer segments. Vet Shop Bags, one of our wonderful pet clients in Australia, does a great job here sending users a reminder email to kind of stock up on their dwindling pet supplies. It's clear and concise and gives an option to shop for a dog or a cat or view other sales items. I love it. So it's inevitable that customers do become disengaged over time. As much as we don't want to, they can. But that doesn't mean you can't really kind of reel them back in. From loyalty programs to brand building editorial content, you can automate these emails to these unengaged customers that will keep your brand in front of them and in front of their mind and really being and favorably. But remember, when creating a customer retention program, the focus isn't on selling, but on building a customer relationship. The key is value added content. This should take center stage with all your customer communications. This content can be anything from event invites, if that's what you do, competitions, new product reviews, to customer feedback forms and some surveys, or really try to identify and smoothen out some pain points. Excuse me. Next, loyalty programs. These are also very important to drive and kind of reward customer loyalty and you really encourage them to spend more to earn those really more points. But we all know not all customers spend equally. So segment your best customers and create an automation program that kind of rewards their greater loyalty and that extra spend. So for example, maybe 20% of your customers might have an average order value or AOV twice that of your database average, purchase from you at least twice a month, and have ordered in the last 2 weeks. This may be your customer sweet spot. You'll gain most revenue by investing and retaining this VIP segment. I guess what I'm alluding to here is RFM, or the recency, frequency, and the monetary value of a customer. Merchants, kind of need to record and recall every customer transaction, no matter where it's made, to really power those future communications. So as the customer relationship grows, merchants can kind of leverage RFM as the customer modeling technique. So how do we do this? So deep dive into their recency, frequency, and monetary value for customer purchases can really shed light on where customers are in that journey. This data kind of visibility kind of enables marketers to kind of target their customers honestly more effectively. So for example, if a customer hasn't purchased again within 6 months, a brand could automatically trigger a targeted "we miss you" email or push notification. So RFM, look, is a fantastic strategy to cater your marketing message to these three personas to ensure you're kind of engaging with them with the correct messaging and incentive, and really ultimately getting that revenue. And Mr. Beer did exactly that. So they used Digital's RFM tool to kind of endorse enormous change with 150 inactive customers, which in turn kind of increased customer orders by 800%. This is a huge gain, and all this because they kind of integrated that RFM model into their marketing campaigns. So the next customer retention example is from Panic Room. We've got new products email is simple, but it's a great attempt to kind of engage consumers and keep them excited about the brand and deliver new product opportunities for their customers to see and purchase. Simple and very effective. So also with a flow of rich customer data coming in from your e-commerce store, you can use kind of customers' past purchase and web browsing behavior to kind of automate products recommendations and like really upsell those emails. After all, it's always wise to strike while, as they say, the iron's hot, especially because we know tailoring content, as I mentioned before, for an individual customer is a proven technique to drive revenue. So how do we go about doing this? So why not kind of segment your cross-sell, upsell automation programs by AOV and last order or last login date, so you can identify those groups most likely to kind of purchase again. Base your product recommendations on preferences, products, product categories that they've browsed, products added to the cart, added to wish list or purchase. Invite customers to post product reviews so we can leverage those powerful peer-to-peer marketing, and be sure to kind of test the use of unique promotion codes, discount in upsell and cross-sell emails. Testing is so important in all these marketing campaigns. The upsell email from Stucker New is a great example. It really kind of highlights the value of using customer data to enrich the user experience. They're retargeting the customer who bought the bento box to see if they would like to buy a nice cooler bag to go with it. And I think they provide a nice discount as well. You can set up an automated program that really tries to kind of recapture lost customers as a last ditch attempt. Do something unexpected, like offering a truly outstanding offer, or take the opportunity, or just use humor, like our client Remedy has done here. I love this little campaign. Make sure you deliver personalized messages as always. Incentivize their re-engagement, such as money off of their next order. Capture that customer feedback on why they have lapsed, and kind of be sure to provide value-added content to build back your brand advocacy. And here again, CNBC's lighthearted but non-pushy email really works as a last-ditch attempt to engage the consumer. The tone is quite subtle, and this is another great client example. And finally, the number 10, our final one, is the date-driven programs. Emails triggered by dates are really, really important, whether it be a birthday or an anniversary. Calendar-driven programs are really important as well. Caruso's here has used the Singles Day campaign to use Singles Day as a point of date to create a campaign. We actually have if you scan that QR code, we have an e-commerce calendar that you can kind of use. We've got everything from Chinese New Year, Vaisakhi, Diwali, and Christmas. So date-driven programs are super important as well. And here's a really good example of Hobby King. They've done a nice happy birthday email campaign that gives people a nice little discount as well. So here are your top 10 campaigns. You might ask, wow, there are too many. How can it be done? Will it be all the effort? And let me just give you a really quick snapshot of a case study from Remedy. So they use all those different campaigns and were able to increase their revenue by 15%.
Sorry to
And
you.
no, that's it. I'm all done. So.
It's very insightful, and I wish that it keeps on going. I think you hijacked one of the point which I'm going to talk in the noon about RFM metrics. But I have one interesting question coming from the crowd. Can you share a couple of channels we should prioritize out of this 10? Which is your favorite one?
Well, I can't say I can play favorites on all the channels we offer, but what I would recommend, start with email, start with the basic. If you haven't done any channels, email is still the number one channel that gives the best ROI. So for every dollar spent, I think it's $42 that you kind of get back. I would say email is probably the first one that you can easily, because everyone has an email address. So I would say definitely prioritize one. It's probably the easiest one to actually even, to launch immediately. So.
That's great. Guys, we have booth for Digital. Catch Aparna there for the special offer they are running. I think that is also on the screen. You scan this QR code, catch Aparna and Matthew. We have next track coming from Matthew on the keynote. I'll be seeing him there. And thank you, Aparna, for insightful talk. I think people loved it. And then one of the great comment I can read, your talk is engrossing.
Ah, brilliant. Thank you again. Thanks again for having us, Digital, be part of this fantastic event. Thanks everyone for listening.
Yep. Thank you.
All righty. Cheers. Thank you. Bye-bye.